I have lived in some very old apartments in Laramie, Wyoming, and the oldest by far was in their historic downtown above a bar. Although it was a nice sunny apartment, I had a variety of creepy things happen there, and I had never felt in danger by the spirits who lived there, but it did make me somewhat uneasy. To truly understand why this apartment was spooky, there's a few things you need to know about Laramie, Wyoming. It's an old west town that had a lot of violence early on from Prohibition era, police chases and lovers' quarrels and bar fights. The town has a pretty big cemetery that was also moved, and who knows how many bodies they missed, but that's a story for another day. Laramie also is known to have had an underground tunnel that linked most of took place in them. Coincidentally, my basement was connected to those tunnels, although it was blocked off. My old apartment also used to be a brothel, and one cool indicator that it was the fact that there was a window pane on the door. The curtain to the window pane would be open if a lady wasn't busy and closed if she was. This actually was a really common thing in downtown Laramie apartments. Since there were so many brothels, and some of these brothels were even open till the mid-1980s. I really felt as if the spirit or spirits haunting there were former ladies who worked there, especially because they never truly scared me. Besides this one time, and this is the story of the creepiest thing I had happened there. My ex-boyfriend and I were having a few drinks in my apartment on a Friday night. While the downtown below us was busy with bar goers, at some point we decided to break out the Ouija board. Great idea, I know. The thing is, I was never scared of them, and I never asked dangerous questions, and didn't provoke the spirits, and I always said hello and goodbye. My ex-boyfriend, on the other hand, thought it would be funny to provoke whoever else shared my apartment. At first, nothing happened. No cold chill and no piece moving on its own. Then he decided he wanted to go to the very, very creepy basement to play. I opted to stay upstairs. Within minutes of him being downstairs, I felt a cold chill, and all of a sudden my kitchen light burst, and the entire time I was waiting for him to come back upstairs, I felt an uneasy feeling as though someone was watching me. We quickly put it away, and he buzzed about how wild it was that the light went out. And I scolded him for being rude to my ghosts, and made him replace my light bulb, and that is just one of many little hauntings I've had in Laramie, Wyoming. Okay, so I've been working at a salon for about 5 months now, and every Saturday I hand wash the towels until late. I always hang the towels to dry at the mechanic's garage because we share the space. The first few months everything was okay, I wasn't scared of the dark. No matter how late it got, I'd be jamming to my Spotify baddie playlist. But 2 weeks ago, I suddenly felt like someone was watching me in the dark, but then I'd look around and see no one. I tried to continue but couldn't. The hair on my neck stood as if something was approaching me, and I ran inside the salon to ask a mate to help me dry the towels. I pushed it aside thinking maybe it was the scary TikToks I watched at noon getting to me. Monday comes, I work as usual, but then it gets late faster, since it's now winter here in southern Africa. I go out back to grab the towels, but in my heart I immediately get scared, and my heart starts hammering inside my chest. I look around and see nothing. I try to get the towel in front of a window. When I see pale face staring back at me from the inside, I was so terrified. I ran back inside without getting the towel. I wanted to tell my friend about what I saw. But I was afraid she wouldn't believe me, since nobody I know believes in paranormal stuff. So I just asked her to get the towel for me, coming up with an excuse that I was busy. But then funny thing is that it stopped after that. No more hair standing or feeling like something is watching me. It almost feels like I was imagining it. Now I look inside the same window and it doesn't spark anything inside me. Maybe it was just a passing ghost that wanted to be seen. This is a weird one. I have a cousin that was bitten and always had some strangers occurrences. One time I was visiting my cousin's house. He was on his way home, and I was chatting with my aunt. My father is the handyman of the family. You need something fixed, he is your guy. So I'm talking to her and ask, hey, and why you not my uncle had fixed my cousin door. That door had been busted since I had memory of it, and she told me that my uncle was apprehensive about it and asked her why so. That when she told me my uncle broke that door because they thought that a burglar entered the house while my cousin was sleeping. They realized something was wrong because of my cousin's screams for help. When my uncle tried to open the door, it was unlocked, but it wouldn't budge, given the impression it was glued or something. When he managed to bust it open, they find my cousin on the foot of the bed, whimpering and covered in human fang bites. From head to toes, even in the back and behind the knees. He said that the dark figures mocked him and hurt him while he was crying. They took him to the doctor, where they explained that some of the bites were impossible to be made by himself. Also, physiological evaluation said that besides the trauma of the encounter, there were no signs of abuse. That house felt weird, dark and eerie. I was never able to sleep, not even one night over. My cousin hardened a lot after that, and other weird thing that happened to him. He became one of the most toughest and courageous motherfucker that I know. Back in high school, we were practicing for a play and was staying late in school for rehearsals. We decided to do a dare and went to the school gymnasium. One of my mates had a classic tape recorder with him, which we used as a prop for the play. But it was fully functional, which we used and recorded the silence as we went inside. After a few minutes in, we decided to replay the recording and caught wind of a very guttural and chilling voice in between the deafening silence saying, "To this day I have no idea what it meant, but is still stuck in my head for more than 20 plus years. Something like Ripperhib ran for our lives after hearing it."